Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a crochet project bag. The free written pattern with step-by-step photos can be found on my website at julesandjones.com, and you can find a link for that in the description box below. Now let's go over some of the materials that you are going to need for this project. You will need 650 yards of a worsted weight yarn. I'm using a Lion brand Pound of Love yarn in the color Quartz. You're also going to need a 6.0 millimeter crochet hook, a darning needle, some stitch markers, a tape measure, and you're also going to need some bag handles. Now I repurposed these from an old bag, but you can use whatever bag handles you would like. All right, let's go ahead and get started with our pattern. So the first step in making this crochet bag is to make 4 moss stitch squares. So go ahead and grab your yarn and wrap it around your finger twice. Then take the back piece, push it over the front piece, and take the front piece and push it over the back piece and over your finger. Then pull tight for a slip knot. Grab your crochet hook, insert it into that loop, and then pull tight one more time. All right, so in order to make the moss stitch square, you want to first chain 2. Then you're going to take your hook, insert it into that second chain, and make a single crochet. Then you want to chain 2, make another single crochet into the second chain, and chain 1. And that's it. So now we're just going to repeat that sequence 3 more times. All right, so go ahead and take your hook, insert it into that second chain again, so that big hole, and make a single crochet, chain 2, single crochet, and chain 1. All right. So that's my second corner. So now let's go ahead and make our third corner. So insert your hook back into that hole and make a single crochet, chain 2, single crochet, chain 1. All right, now I need to make that one more time. And if you have to scoot your work over, that's totally fine. That's what I'm just doing now. All right, so here we go. Single crochet, chain 2, single crochet, and chain 1. And there we go. We've just completed our first round. So now all we have to do is just slip stitch it to the first stitch, so that first single crochet, which is going to be right here because you can see that little V. So go ahead and insert your hook in there and then just make a slip stitch. And there you go. Now you've just completed your first round. All right, so let's go ahead and work on round 2 of our square. Okay, so now we're going to be working on round 2. Now for round 2, we're going to be flipping our work. And the reason why is because if we were just to continue round by round, your square will eventually become lopsided. So by turning your work, your edges will be straight. All right, so go ahead and turn your work, and your yarn's just going to come over like that. And you are going to work 1 single crochet in the space before the single crochet from the previous row. Okay, so that space is going to be right here because you can see the little V where our single crochet is from the previous row. So go ahead and insert your hook into that space and make a single crochet and then chain 1. Okay, and now for every space in this row, you are going to work a single crochet and chain. All right, so next up is our first corner. And so you might have to move the 2 single crochets a bit to see it. But here it is, and now you're just going to work a single crochet, chain 2, single crochet, and chain 1, just like we did in row 1, okay? So now there's going to be another space, so that space is going to be between the 2 single crochets, and the first and second row I find are always the hardest, so if you don't get it, keep trying, because it becomes easier once you know where to put your single crochets. So here are my 2 single crochets, so just carefully push those 2 single crochets apart and then work a single crochet and chain again. All right, and now we're at our second corner, so it's right here. So go ahead and work a single crochet, chain 2, single crochet, and chain 1. All right, so now we're at our side space again. So here are my 2 single crochets. I'm just going to move them apart a little bit and then work a single crochet and chain. I'm at my third corner. So once again, go ahead and insert your hook and work a single crochet, chain 2, single crochet, and chain 1. There we go. All right, I'm at my side space again. So go ahead and move those 2 single crochets and then work a single crochet and chain. And then I'm at my last corner here. So go ahead and work your single crochet, chain 2, single crochet, chain 1. Okay, and now we're back at our beginning, and so we're just going to work a slip stitch into that first single crochet. There we go, and that completes row 2. So now we're going to work row 3. Okay, so we just finished row 2, so go ahead and turn your work for round 3. So flip your yarn over, and we're basically going to be repeating what we just did for round 2, except our spaces have increased. Okay, so go ahead and find the space before the first single crochet from the previous row and insert your hook, and you're going to just make a single crochet chain. And then here's our corner again, and go ahead and make a single crochet, chain 2, single crochet, and chain 1. Okay, now we're at our side. Now your side is going to have 2 spaces, and so they're much more visible this time. So I'm going to work a single crochet chain here and a single crochet chain here. Okay, so go ahead and work a single crochet chain, and here's my other single crochet chain, and I'm at my second corner, so go ahead and repeat what we just did. Single crochet, chain 2. Let's grab a little bit more yarn here, and single crochet, chain 1, and now I'm at my side space again. So just find your spaces and work a single crochet chain, single crochet chain, and then I'm at my corner again. So go ahead and work a single crochet, 2 chains, single crochet, chain 1, and I'm at my side space again. So you know the routine: single crochet chain, single crochet chain, and I'm at my last corner here. And then go ahead and work your single crochet, 2 chain, single crochet, chain 1, and then I've got one more space to work here because the other space was filled in the beginning. So here's my space, and then just work a single crochet and chain, and then slip stitch to that first single crochet, and then you've completed row 3. Now, if you do need more help with this square, I do have a video tutorial on just how to make this square step by step. So I'll go ahead and include that in the description box. All right, so once you finished row 3, what you now want to do is from row 4 to row 22, you just want to repeat row 3. Now your spaces will increase for each row. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get to that. So I'm going to keep on repeating row 3 till row 22. And once I have that done, I will meet you right back here. All right, so I've just finished working my 22 rows of the moss stitch square, and so now you should have something that looks like this. So now what you want to do is you want to go ahead and make 3 more moss stitch squares for a total of 4. All right, and once you have that done, then we can move on to the next step. All right, so once you've made your 4 squares, it's time to lay them flat in a certain order and then seam them together. So what you want to do is you're going to take your 1 square and put it down like this. Then go ahead and grab your second square and put it right next to it. Then grab the other 2 and put them right underneath them. Okay, so it is going to look like this or like this. And then take the other one and do the same thing. Just like that. Okay, so you're essentially making one big square. All right, and then I also wanted to note that when you do put these squares down, make sure that your seam is on the same side so that it aligns, okay? So I can tell my seam is right here and right here. And the reason why you want to do this is because when you go ahead and seam everything up and make your bag, it'll make it look more aligned to the other side. Okay, so once you have your squares all laid out, you want to go ahead and grab your darning needle, and you're going to go ahead and grab some yarn. And you're going to go ahead and cut your yarn twice the size of your square. All right, and then once you have that done, it's time to seam the 4 squares together. So I'll go ahead and show you how I like to do that. All right, and so now we're just gonna seam our 4 squares together. So what I like to do first is I like to grab 2 of my squares and I just align them just like this. And then I start by putting my darning needle into the first 2 loops, so the first 2 stitches, just like so, and I go ahead and pull through. And so we are just using the whip stitch method, but if you did not like this method, you could of course use another method. All right, and so then what I do again is I work my darning needle through those same 2 stitches again, just for extra security. And then I hold my tail end and then I just pull one more time. All right, just so it's nice and tidy. Okay, and then I just go ahead and work my darning needle through the next 2 stitches. So just like so. And then I just keep on pulling through. Yep, and that is what you want to do. So just go ahead and continue to do that until the end of the square. So I will show you. All right, so just continue to do that until the end right here. Okay, and then once you do that, then we'll go ahead and seam the other 2 squares together. All right, so once you have your 2 squares seamed together, go ahead and repeat that to the other 2 squares. And once you have done that, you want to then seam the 4 squares together. So I have my 2 laying right here and I have my other 2 on the bottom. And so I want to go ahead and just move it over and I'm going to flip it like I was doing, just like this. And I am going to go ahead and insert my darning needle right here. And I'm going to go ahead and seam all the way along the 2 squares so that I have one big square that's fully seamed. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get to that and then I'll meet you right back here. All right, so once you have seamed your 4 squares together, it's time to fold each corner towards the middle to create one big envelope. All right, so go ahead and take one corner and push it towards the middle and just continue to do that to all the sides. Just like that. And then you want to go ahead and grab your tape measure and you are going to measure 5.5 inches. Starting from the middle on one of the corners. So 5.5 inches would be right here for me. So then grab your stitch marker and go ahead and mark it. Now you want to continue to do this all the way around the square, okay? So you want to place one here, of course, here, here, and here. Once you have done that, then you can go ahead and fold your corners outwards, just like this. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and continuing measuring my points right here and then folding my pieces outwards. Okay, so I've just folded all my corners outwards, 5.5 inches, and so now it's time to seam. So what you want to do is you want to grab your darning needle and yarn again, and you want to go ahead and seam from the stitch marker to the end, okay? So you're going to seam this part, this part, this part, and this part. So I'm going to go ahead and get to that and then I'll meet you right back here. All right, so once you have seamed your sides together, you should have something that looks like this now. So now you are completely done with the bag portion of this project. So now all that's left to do is just to seam on our handles. Now for my bag, I just repurposed some bag handles. So I just use these leather ones. But for example, if you didn't have that, you could also just buy a leather strap like this at a craft store. Okay, I purchased this from Hobby Lobby, or you can even just crochet a handle. So it's really up to you at this point what you would like to do. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how I seam these handles onto my crochet bag. All right, so I quickly want to go over how I added my handles to my bag. So you're basically going to attach a handle to each corner. Okay, so now I did repurpose these, but I did find a similar version on Amazon. And so you can find that link in the blog post. So if you open up to that description box, the link for this pattern will be in there. Okay, so what I did first was I unattached them from the bag, and you're going to get 3 pieces essentially. You're going to have a front piece, a back piece, and then the handle part. So you want to take your corner and you're going to put your front piece on top of the crochet piece, and then you're going to take your handle and put that on top of the crochet part, and then take your back piece and add that on top of the handle. Okay, just like that. And then I took my darning needle and I just added some linen yarn that I had left over, and I worked my yarn through each hole. Okay, so I went from the back, I pushed it into the crochet part, and then I pushed it through the hole. And then you might be a little bit hard, but you just gotta work your way through it. And then I simply just went like that, and I just went through each hole each time. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and just work this through, and then once I'm towards the middle part of it, I will show you guys what it looks like. Okay, so I'm just about halfway through, and so I have something that looks like this. So now I'm just gonna continue it by finishing it off, and then I will show you the final result. All right, so I just finished putting on my handle, and so now I'm completely done with my bag. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I hope it was helpful, and I hope you get lots of use out of this fun bag. So now I'll go ahead and show you just the inside of what it looks like, because you can just fit so much in this crochet bag. So see, it's essentially just one big square, and you just have so much room in here. So you can put your yarn in here, you can put your latest whips in here, you could even just use it for a day out. So yeah, lots of snacks, water bottles, everything can fit in this bag. All right, everyone, don't forget you can take a look at the pattern at the link in the description box below. There will also be step-by-step photos. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.